everyone, my name's Emily and welcome back to my channel. I'm trying to start posting a little more consistently here, so bear with me because life is so crazy. This video is basically gonna help you catch up with my reading journey and what I've been doing since, like, I want to say April or May. Life has been so crazy. I've been all over the place. But I just wanted to give y'all like a video update of what's been going on, all the books I've read since I've last done a wrap up. But yeah, life has just been so crazy with grad school applications, and I work 2 jobs if you didn't know. I work at a community college and I also work at a pediatric therapy clinic for experience hours for grad school. It's just been a lot on my mental health. I have been so busy. Like, I wake up, try to work out if I can, then I go to work, and then I get home at like 5 or sometimes 7, 8 p.m. and then I'm super exhausted by the end of the day, and it's just so draining. And I feel like this is such a challenging part of life, and that speaking with a professional therapist could be really beneficial at this time. I wanted to take some time to tell you about today's sponsor, which is BetterHelp. Thank you so much, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this video. BetterHelp is an online service that connects you with a credentialed therapist, and these therapists are trained to listen to you and give you helpful, unbiased advice. Starting therapy can be really hard. The right therapist for you could be out of your area, and some people also find the face-to-face interaction with the therapist really uncomfortable. But with BetterHelp, you can have your therapy sessions as a phone call, a video call, or even just text messaging, whatever's more comfortable for you. If you think you can benefit from therapy, please click the link in the description or visit betterhelp.com/Emily. To get started, you'll need to fill out a questionnaire that will assess your specific needs, and then you'll get matched with a therapist, in most cases within 48 hours. You'll also be able to schedule your therapy sessions at a time that's most convenient for you. And if the therapist you're first matched with doesn't feel like the right fit, which is really common when you first start therapy, you can easily switch to a new therapist at no additional cost. People spend hours in the gym every week working on their physical health, so why not give your mental health the same kind of attention? Over 4 million people have used BetterHelp to start living a happier, healthier life. So again, if you think you can benefit from therapy, please check out BetterHelp. You can click the link in the description to sign up or visit betterhelp.com/Emily. Clicking that link helps support this channel, and you'll also get 10% off your first month, so you can try out BetterHelp and see if meeting with a therapist will work for you. Thank you so much again, BetterHelp, for sponsoring today's video, and without further ado, let's get started. So I did just film an unboxing, but then I got a memory card error on my camera. So unfortunately, I'm just going to have to show you what I got instead of unboxing them. Like, I don't know why my G7X hates me, but it's okay. Anyway, I got 2 pre-orders from Barnes & Noble. The first is King of Greed, and the second is A Curse for True Love. Yay! So exciting, even though I didn't get to unbox it on camera because of my SD card. Moving on from that, I wanted to show you all the books that I've read since I've last done a wrap-up on this channel, which is a while ago. I think in April or May, no, April, I think. It was definitely before I left for Europe. I'm going by genre. The first section is manga, and I only read 1, but it's Spy Family Volume 9. I gave this 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I can't really tell you what it's about because it's the 9th volume, but it was hilarious and heartwarming and all of the emotions all over again. I love the series so much. If you haven't read this manga, or a manga in general, please read this one. So good. And now on to fantasy. I have quite a bit to share with you. The first is Foul Lady Fortune by Chloe Gong. I don't know what it is about Chloe Gong's books, but they're all like 3 stars for me. Looking back at my experiences with all of her books that I've read, they've all been 3 stars for me. This one's also 3 stars, if you didn't gather from that. Her stories are so good and interesting, but they just drag on for so long. Like, this book did not need to be this long. I feel like we just went around in circles so many times. It was a good story. I'm not saying it was a bad book. It was just way longer than it needed to be, and I listened to this on audiobook. So That's how you know it really dragged on. But I bought the novellas that come after this, and I know that the sequel just came out, but I don't know if I'm gonna read the sequel. I'll definitely read the novellas at least, because they're pretty short and easy to get through. But I don't know if I'm gonna read the second book. Let me know if you've read it, what your thoughts are, because I don't know if I want to carve out the time to read it. Then I read Zodiac Academy, number 4, Shadow Princess. I read this so long ago that I don't even remember what happened. I haven't gone back to this universe since I read this. And oh yeah, I also read this novella. This was 3 stars. This was 4 stars. The ending broke my heart. I am going to read The Ruthless Boys of the Zodiac, I think that's what it's called. I'm gonna read that one next, and then I'll jump back into book number 5. But it's just, I haven't been in the mood to pick up the second series. I've been in the mood to continue on with the Zodiac Academy series. So I've just been at a standstill since April. This one was just mid. I didn't really, it was alright. Sorry if I'm going too quickly through these reviews. It's just a refresher. Y'all just need to know how I felt about these books. You don't need to know the whole plot, right? I'm pretty sure these books are popular enough where you know the plot. Like this one, the next one. You know what this is. I rated it 5 stars. I bought this one at, what is it called, Smith & Son or something, in Paris by the, what's it called, Champs-Élysées. Bought this there, went back the next day, all the copies were gone. So I felt very lucky. Since reading this, I have acquired a copy of the Sprayed Edges edition. I love it, it's my prized possession. And I also pre-ordered the second book, which I'm going to a midnight release party for, so I'm probably gonna end up returning my pre-order anyway. And then I also bought the special edition. I pre-ordered that too. Everyone has read this book, so you should know. You should know. Next, we're gonna get into my stack of mystery thrillers. This is mostly Frida McFadden and Agatha Christie. So we're gonna start with the one that isn't by those 2 authors. Why do I have a Bath and Body Works coupon here? Anyway, I think I used it as a bookmark. But the first one I have here is The Only One Left by Riley Sager. This one was good. It wasn't show-stopping, jaw-dropping, unlike anything I've ever read before. You know that clip of Lady Gaga going off? Yeah, it wasn't that for me. But I gave it 4 stars. It was pretty entertaining. This was my first Riley Sager book. No, this is actually my second Riley Sager book. I liked it better than the first one I read, which was Final Girls. This is about a woman who becomes a caretaker for a very old lady in a very sketchy looking mansion. And the old lady was like convicted for murder or something a long time ago, but then they didn't have enough evidence, so they didn't arrest her. That's all I remember, but it was really good. I read this at the beach so many times and I liked it. Now for the Agatha Christie books. First, I read The Mysterious Affair at Styles. Why am I talking like those influencers? Anyway, let's talk normally. This is The Mysterious Affair at Styles. I think this was her first Poirot book. I honestly don't remember what happened in this, but I had a good time reading it and I read it super fast. I bought this one at Shakespeare & Company. It has a little stamp in it. I gave this one 4 stars. Then I also read Murder on the Links by Agatha Christie. This is the second one and the little list that they have in the back. I also gave this one 4 stars. It was good. I thought it was gonna be like centered around golf, but it was less about golf and more of like someone was just found murdered on a golf course. I don't even play golf. I don't know why I was like disappointed that it wasn't about golf. Hold on, y'all. Lip balm break. This is the Rhode Peptide Lip Treatment in Strawberry Glaze, but I'm trying to use it up because I hate the smell of it. But the formula is fantastic. It's not so bad. It's just, And now I have 3 Frida McFadden books. The first one I read by her is The Housemaid. I actually read this on my Kindle. Fantastic. I loved it so much. I think I gave this one 3.5 stars. I gave it 4 stars on Goodreads, but I think it's more accurately a 3.75. This was just a wild ride. My gears were turning and I could not understand what was going on the whole time. Well, I understood what was going on, but I didn't know where it was going. The whole time I was like, where is she going with this? But then it wrapped up at the end and it was so good. Also, I just realized that you could see my fake chicken wing here, so that's funny. Then I read The Inmate. This one was good too. I like this one better than The Housemaid actually, so I think I would give it 3.75 and this one 4 stars. This one is my absolute favorite between the three of them. Like, I would actually get chills from this. And this one, the main character was so frustrating. I was so annoyed with her the whole time. She was just so dumb. You know when you watch a horror movie and the person goes down to the basement? That's literally this main character this whole entire book. I was screaming at my Kindle like, what are you doing? You're so stupid. Why are you doing this? I was reading in line at Disneyland and my boyfriend was laughing at me. But I was just getting frustrated with this main character. The main character in this one wasn't frustrating at all. It was so good. And that's why this one is my favorite out of the three. I gave this one 5 stars. I think it's more of a 4.5. So I would say 3.75 for 4.5. And those are all of the mystery thrillers. Lastly, for the wrap-up portion, we have my romances. On top of the pile, we have Meet Me at the Lake. This was so mid. I would give it 3.5 stars. In the moment, I gave it 3.75, but I would probably give it 3.5 now. It was alright. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. And I was very disappointed because I loved the first book, Every Summer After. And I know Carly Fortune is releasing another one next year, which I'm definitely still gonna read. But this didn't hit as hard as the first one, sadly. Then I read Things We Never Got Over. This dragged on way too long. I have the other 2 books in the series because I still want to continue on with it, but it dragged on way too long. I gave it 3 stars. Next, Culty, DNF'd. Hated it. Why does she keep saying poop, 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 poop? So cringy. The audiobook was horrible. Then I have Reckless by Elsie Silver, 4.5 stars. This one was way better than the first one. The first one and this one were both Grumpy Sunshine, but I feel like this one handled it in a much better way and it wasn't too cringy. The first one was a little too cringy and cliche for me. This one kind of shook things up a little bit. I loved her relationship with Luke, and this one was just so much better than the first one. Miles better than the first one. Then I read Happy Place by Emily Henry. This one was also kind of mid for me. I don't remember what I gave it. I gave it 3 stars. I thought it was boring. If I could go back, I would probably give it 2. I think I'm just gonna give up on Emily Henry because I have not had the best experience with her books. I like them, but they're not anything too memorable for me. I did like the overarching lesson that we got from this but overall, was I impressed? Not really. There were some really good quotes in here though. I'll give her that. She has some lyricism in her, but I was kind of bored. Then I finally continued on with the Boys of Toman series. I read Keeping 13 when I was on the plane to the Philippines. This cover is so foul. Like, this cover is so foul. But this was so good. I think I like this one better than the first one. I gave the first one 5 stars, so this one was also automatically 5 stars. I'm so upset that I will never read this for the first time ever again. But it was so good. I read it on my Kindle because there's no way I brought this whole thing to the Philippines with me. Hello? Then I read Saving 6. I haven't really fallen in love with Joey and Aoife's story as quickly or easily as I did with Johnny and Shannon's. I don't know if it's because they're just not Johnny and Shannon, or maybe I just haven't had enough time with them yet. I gave this one 4 stars instead of 5, which is still a really good rating. It's just not 5 stars. And we also go back in time with this one. We go back before the events of the first book in the series. So that was kind of not frustrating, but it was kind of meh to me because I'm like, we're going back in time again, we're not gonna go forward. And I wanted to hear more about Johnny and Shannon because I miss them so much, but whatever. And right now I'm currently reading 2 books. I'm reading Powerless by Elsie Silver. I'm literally like 2 chapters into it and I already love it so much more than I loved Heartless. And then I'm reading, to surprise, Redeeming 6 by Chloe Walsh. I'm about halfway through it so far. I know what's coming, but also at the same time, I got surprised by certain things that I didn't see happen in the first 2 books of the series. Who knows what other surprises Chloe Walsh will pull out of her pen. But those are the books that I'm currently reading right now. Now let's get into the books that I want to read in the fall season. First off, the rest of the Throne of Glass series. Oh yeah, I also read the Throne of Glass books. I read 1, 2, and Assassin's Blade. I'm currently on Heir of Fire, so I have it on audiobook. I will be listening to that. I also want to read Reckless and Hopeless for obvious reasons. Also Twisted Lies, because I have been putting that book off for forever. And then I have 2 more Frida McFadden books, The Coworker and The Housemaid's Secret. This is the sequel to The Housemaid, and then this one I think is one of her newer books. Then also I want to read Caught Up by Liz Tomford. This is the 3rd book in the Windy City series, I think that's what it's called. I saw the new covers for these and I'm really sad that they changed them so much because I love seeing the skyline. It's so beautiful. But this one follows, what's his name? Kai, the baseball player. I am so sad we've moved on from the NBA because I love me some basketball romances. Then I want to read Wildfire by Hannah Grace. This is the sequel to Icebreaker. I don't really know much about it. I haven't read any reviews for these yet, so I'm really going into them blindly. And then I want to read One for My Enemy by Olivia Blake. I've just heard really good things about it, and it's a Romeo and Juliet retelling in contemporary New York City with like witches and stuff. So that's exciting. But yeah, that's it for today's video. I'm about to run out of battery, so I'll see y'all soon. Thanks for watching. Bye!